Like, seriously, what is happening today? I think it's because I am, like, podcasting. Look at this nightmare. You're being a nightmare. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Eventual Knits podcast. My name is Leah, also known as Miss_LJV on Instagram and Eventual on Ravelry. Today is August 2nd, 2019. It's a Friday. Happy Friday. I just got home and I decided I really wanted to podcast right away. This is episode 14. Thank you for being here, whether you are new or a returning viewer. I really appreciate every view. I appreciate you coming to sit here with me and listen to or watch my podcast. I'm going to jump right in because I have so many things to talk to you about. So, first, let's talk about... I'm thinking, do I have any finished objects? I don't think so. Oh, I have a new cat tower that you can't see, but my cats will probably be scratching like just now on the cat tower and or jumping up on it. So you might see it shaking or cats scratching it or cats jumping up on my lap because my cats are extremely needy lap cats. I don't think, well, let's do this. I have a finished sock here. This is the Twizzler sock pattern-ish. It's slightly modified. I follow the little pattern here, I follow the twisted ribbing here, but I only cast on 56 stitches and I think it calls for 64. I have gone back to knitting on size 1. So let me back up here. Actually, let's do this real quick. Hi, Graham. He is definitely not interested in us. So when I first started knitting socks, I wanted to always be doing I always wanted to be doing the 64 stitches because I wasn't comfortable trying to figure out the heel or the gusset or any of that stuff on my own. And so I wanted it to always work with 64, and most patterns that I found have 64 stitches. And so I kept sizing down, and what I found was double zeros are what work for that. And the fabric on double zeros is really nice because the stitches are so tiny, but it's crazy how much longer it takes than double zeros. And it didn't bother me for the first few socks because I didn't really knit socks that much. And now it's like I want to get socks. I want lots of socks. And so that means I need to have bigger needles and less stitches. So anyway, my point is I cast on 56 stitches for this, and because the pattern is multiples of 4. And so that means that I just figured out the heel on my own, and I think that's about it, really all you need to do. So the yarn for this is Malia Mayed It, Mermaid's Kiss, and as I say in every podcast, I don't care much how the heel and the cuff and the toe look, and so I just knit them as is. So this just happened to work out nicely that it mostly was here, but then you see then it screws up the soft striping here because it goes from pink to purple to pink again. Here I actually did pull out a bunch of yarn, and excuse me, Nero, please do not bump the tripod, because I did do this and then it ended up being just like this little bit right here in the purple, and it just looked really weird. So I did pull out some of the teal yarn to make this just an extended toe, or an extended green part for the toe. The heel here is the Eye of Partridge, and you can see like it just gives it a little bit of texture. It makes it a little interesting. I like it. It's not difficult to do. It's not any different really than the slip stitch. It's just which stitches you're slipping. Here I just decreased I think every other round for quite a while, and then eventually I did every round. And I have discovered that just like a hat, you can just keep decreasing until you have however many stitches. I think I decreased until I had 8 maybe stitches, and then I just cut the yarn and cinched it up and pulled, and look at that. That toe looks cute. And then you don't have to graft. I don't really care about grafting, like it's fine, but it's faster and less fiddly if you decrease like a hat. And so that's my new favorite way of doing it. I did do the twisted rib on the cuff. A lot of people do say like they don't like twisted rib because it's like a lot of work and they'd rather just do a regular rib. And I hate regular rib, so twisted rib isn't any different. I don't know. So twisted rib is fine. So yeah, I have one sock done for that, and I think that is the only thing that I technically have finished, and that's not even a full finished object. So let's jump into my whips. Guess what, guys? I have a sock. I have a whip sock. So today is day 6 of hashtag Sock Week 2019, hosted by Knitty Natty and sponsored by Malia Mayed It. I wouldn't say I purposefully used Malia Mayed It like as a part of this. I just really wanted to make another pair of socks in this yarn because I had plenty of yarn left. I have small feet, so I end up with a huge amount of yarn at the end. No, please do not jump on my lap, Narrow. I'm trying to find a yarn where I did do socks. Like, never mind, it's fine. But I end up with a ton of yarn left that after I do a pair of socks for myself. And so I was like, hey, let's just go right in and make a second pair of socks. And so that's what I did. So I am on day 5. So Sock Week 2019 is where you knit 1 sock in 8 days. And so I happened, please no Narrow, I happened to knit an entire sock in preparation basically for Sock Week 2019 because I thought that it would be really good to bookend or like to do it and have a finished pair of socks at the end. And that really came about because I was knitting a sock at work during meetings, and I happened to just get most of it done somehow over the course of like 3 days. And so I was like, I can definitely do Sock Week 2019. And I watched Knitty Natty's video, which you should watch too, because it's really cute, very well thought out, and breaks down knitting a sock. That it's really like, it makes it feel so much more manageable, especially if you are not a sock knitter or you haven't knit a sock before, you think socks take too long. Like really breaking it down into chunks helps make it seem more manageable. Steve just got home. So for the first day, God, I got fibers in my nose as usual. For the first day, I just knit the ribbing and then a little bit of the leg. And then the second day I knit the rest of the leg. And day 3, I knit the heel and heel flap. Day 4, I knit the gusset. Oh, okay. Let's look at this. So on my gusset here, it looks, oh wait. Yeah, here. It looks fine. It looks fine. I don't know what I was doing. I think it might have been because I was vlogging during this. I'm not sure. But on both sides, yeah, crazy. Both sides on this sock, I have crazy ladders. Look at that. I don't think I've ever done that on a pair of socks before. Both sides. I don't really know what I was doing. That's so weird. I'll just cinch that up when or maybe I won't. I'll cinch it up. Oh, pressure's closing. Anyway, I think I'll cinch it up. Hey.
Hi.
Where have you been? I beat you home.
I went to the thrift store.
Oh.
And then I stopped at a garage sale.
Did you find anything?
You got some games?
Oh, that's cool. Nero's very needy.
He is. Have you started?
Yeah.
Oh, you're recording right now?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, here, you can do a live unboxing.
I will do a live unboxing. Oh, this isn't yarn. This is a shirt.
Through the magic of editing, it can be on.
Let's see what this is. Oh! Oh, it's not a knitting shirt, but it is an accessibility shirt. Oh, this is a cool color. I don't think I own any orange shirts. Disability justice is left.
Nice.
That's a cool shirt.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good shirt. It's important. This shirt, oh no, I can't remember who was promoting it. Someone was promoting this shirt, and part of the proceeds go to some place. Damn it, I can't remember where. Oh well, that's cool. What are you doing?
I am going to go down and relax. I kind of want to shower.
Seem kind of sweaty.
Rude.
And then after I'm done podcasting, do you want to do the questions podcast?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I'm going to shower downstairs.
Yeah.
And then I'll do that.
Okay.
And that will be the plan.
Right.
And that is the law according to the rules according to the plan.
Good. All right. See you. So yeah, back to the sock. Yeah, crazy letters. Don't know what's going on there. And then yesterday I only had like I only wanted really, so I got home kind of late and then fell asleep till like 7:15. And then was like, oh yeah, I gotta do sock week. And so I decided to only knit for a half hour while I was watching a podcast on YouTube. And I got this dark teal and this dark purple done. So 2 color repeats, that's fine. And then today I'll do some more. But I really wanted to be knitting on this other thing that I'll tell you about in a minute. Or I'll show you in a minute. And so that's as far, oh yeah, I had my stitch marker here. Stitch marker is Clever Clove. And the bag is, oh my god, I do this every time. Utterly Adorable Knits. So that's where that is housed. So that is a whip. And I'll definitely be finished with my sock within the 8-day time frame. Next up is my Diamond Duality shawl. You guys, look at how beautiful it's coming along. I'm doing that. This is the test knit that I'm doing for Paper Daisy Creations, but she has already released the pattern, so you should go buy this pattern because it is not difficult. It looks amazing. It's extremely clear. It does require like a lot of yarn though. Like make sure that like whatever it says on there for how much yarn you'll use, she guarantees that you will use it, and it seems like that's probably accurate because I am on probably repeat, or I'm on probably row 17 or so of the chart, and there's 48 rows, and then you do another 10, so 58, and I have this much left of the yarn. Okay, you guys, there is one of those like tubes for the cats, like it's like a tube that has like kind of crinkly noise in it. I swear, we brought it home like maybe 3 weeks ago. and they played with it for that 5 minutes that we brought it, and they have not touched it since. And of course now Grim chooses this time to play with it and act like he's super into it. So I'm so sorry about that crinkling noise, because I'm sure it's annoying, but he looks really cute and I'm glad he's playing with something. So yeah, this yarn is Knit Circus. It is probably Greatest of Ease yarn, the base, I think it's Greatest of Ease. That's like their most popular yarn, and that's usually what I buy. And the colorway is Secret Garden, and it's, oh my god. And it starts out with this dark purple, then it fades into this light purple, which fades into this pink that I've started getting. And then the black that I'm using, I said in my last podcast, I think, that I like that it's not a true black. I really like that it's a tonal. It's showing up, I think, a little bit, no, it gets pretty light in spots. I really like that though, because it kind of is giving me the vibes of like, kind of like a university, spacey, like stars. And so I feel like having these light bits, I do feel like the light bits are showing up more stripey or more pooling than they feel in real life. But that yarn is Jackson Yarns, DRS Jackson, DJ Jackson, and the color is King of the North. And I really like it. And that is, of course, being housed in my Clever Hound Creations bag. And yeah, so I am really wanting to be knitting this all the time. It is so fun. It's gonna be the most beautiful shawl. I cannot wait to be finished with it. And so that's what I want to be spending my time doing. So yeah, Diamond Duality shawl, Paper Daisy Creations. Go on over and buy it. It's great. Next whip is, oh man guys, this is what some of you have been waiting for. I am completely caught up on my Whether or Not scarf. So we have January, we have February, we have March, we have April, May, which I talked about last time, and then we have June. June is from, yeah, like here to here. So it means that every single day in June was either between the temperatures of June was in either the highest of 60s, like there's one day with 69, and up to 89. So June had mostly days in the upper 70s to mid 80s, and then some days in the lower 70s. So all of the yellows here are either lower 70s. There's one day of 69, excuse me, one day of 69, and then the rest were in the mid to upper 70s. When it turns to 75, I want to say, is when it turns into the orange. You see this mistake that I made here. I don't know what I was doing. I noticed this after I got a couple rows up, and I was like seriously, what is happening today? I think it's because I am like podcasting. Look at this nightmare. You're being a nightmare. Yeah, so I noticed this mistake, and I was like, I'm not thinking back. Like, I just really don't care that much. It's one day out of what's gonna be 365 days, right? So it's like, that's fine. That's just fine. And you see we have one day here where it was 89 degrees. So initially, I think I thought I would do 90 and higher as red, but the temperatures in Minnesota typically don't actually really hit above that, like mid-90s maybe, but a lot of times it's more like it feels like we've had days where it feels like 108, but it's still only in the 90s. So I had changed my thing to encompass 89 because again, 89 is so different from 75. So if I have a range from 75 to 89 and it's all the same color, that's like, it does not feel like accurate to what the temperatures really are like. So I changed it to 89 as the red. That's where we're starting red. So it just shows where our days are the extremely hottest. But yeah, June was really just 70s and 80s. It was pretty good. And then July, you guys. July is basically all 80s. And what, 1, 2, 3, 4, no, this is June still. 3 days where it officially got into the 90s, or 89. So, yep, this is July for you. Very, very interesting here. The lowest temperature it got to was 76. And I think this is the month that we had the most, the circled means that it was within the expected average or with the historical average. And I think this was the month that we had the most days that were within the historical average. June was pretty close too. But for the most part during this year, we've actually been below average for like all temperatures. Overall. So yeah, so this is July for you. So it's gonna look really interesting. It's coming along. I mean, we're over halfway done. End of July, started August. And as you can see, I am being diligent and I'm weaving in my ends as I go. And all I do is just for the length of the garter, I just go either all the way across or part way across. I really don't, it doesn't really matter to me. And this yarn is Holst Garn. Holst Garn. 55% lamb's wool, 45% cotton. It is I would say a light fingering. It's really, really thin. Looks like a 2-ply. Yeah, so, yep, there's that. That's the wrong side. Here's the right side. So yeah, that's the Whether or Not scarf by Scott Rohr, who I think owns the yarnery. And that is being currently housed in my Pokemon bag. I already, again, can't remember. Oh, the Silver Shed. Silver Shed. Love it. It's currently being, I say currently because as you saw in the scarf, I think, if you were looking, excuse me, some of the months have tons of different colors within them because our springs and I assume our fall will be all variable, like all over the place. And so you end up needing like 4 different balls of yarn, even, you know, because you just never know what the day is gonna look like. And so you need a bigger bag. But right now it's basically gonna be between the 70s and the 80s. I really don't see it getting any cooler than that until at least September. So, yeah. That's that, I think. Oh, I don't have it here. I have been working on, it's called the Mermaid Shawl by, well, it's like a StevenBe pattern, so I'm gonna guess it's from Steven West. I don't really know, but it's a pattern that I got from the StevenBe store in Minneapolis. and it's just a eyelet scarf that I've been really slowly working on for at least a year. I don't even know if it's in my project page, actually. I should check on that. So it's, yeah, it's just a bunch of, it's just a really like drapey, open, like a bunch of yarn overs scarf that I used to work on at staff meetings when I was a teacher, and I've started just working on it whenever because I want to get it done, and I'm so sick of working with the light yellows. Okay, I'm gonna go grab it. Okay, I got it. So this is the Mermaid shawl. So it starts here with this deep pink, and then it goes to an orange, to a yellow, to a light yellow. I just realized I'm in the middle of a row. So my friend Molly drove me home today because we met for coffee, and then it looks like it goes into a green, and then I imagine it ends in a blue. Maybe a purple. I honestly don't know. I hand wound this so long ago. I hand wound this in June of last year. Yeah, in on Father's Day, or around Father's Day weekend. Yeah, because I did this at a Twins game. And yeah, so I hand wound it, and it's so long ago I can't even remember what all the colors are, but I remember seeing a shawl in a gradient, or this scarf shawl thing in a gradient, because see, it's 12, probably like 15, 16 inches, but I mean, when you block it, I mean, it's so stretchy. So yeah, so it'll eventually, you know, just go around, and it'll be real stretchy. So yeah, it's called the Mermaid shawl, I imagine, because it makes you think of like a beachy kind of thing. And I want to get it done because I actually would really like to wear it, because it's a really pretty gradient. That's why I bought the yarn. So working on that. And I don't want to show you the bag because it's got coffee stains all over it from coming to staff meetings with me for the last year. Yeah, so like the picture for it like really looks super elegant. So that also, if you ever go to StevenBe, they have samples everywhere. And so I definitely remember buying this yarn because of the sample that I saw. I remember loving the sample. Yeah. Thinking if I have anything else that I'm working on. I don't think so. Oh, I have yarn wound. I don't have it up here because I haven't started it. But I have my yarn wound. I showed it on the last podcast for the Just Float top by Stephanie Lotvin. And I really want to start that, but I'm not allowing myself to start anything big that's new until I finish my test knit, because I want to finish that, and I want to do Goodbye Lisa Ross. So yeah, that's all. It's all for that. Now, this next section, okay. I feel like people probably think I am always buying yarn, and I want to say that that's not true, but it is mostly true. But there are also some yarns that I have that I'm going to show you that I ordered in like March or April. You know, like they just, if you order yarn that's a pre-order from Lola Bean, it's gonna come several months later. Like if you follow her Instagram, she is extremely busy. She is doing things all the time. And so if you do a pre-order from her, it's gonna take a while to get. So that's an example. But I do have a bunch of things that I wanna show you, so strap yourself in. All right. Okay, first things first, I will show my Lola bean because I missed showing you this on my last podcast. It was actually sitting in the background. This is Bean Sprout. It's a fingering weight yarn, 80/20 superwash merino nylon. It's called Everybunny Needs Somebunny to Love, and it was the Easter colorway, and the proceeds benefited, I believe, the ACLU. And so it's 400 yards, and look at how beautiful it is. And Lola always, like, you could never get a bad skein of yarn from her. I know her name isn't Lola. This is Lola. Her name is Adela. So yeah, I was really happy to finally get this. That smells good. From her. And yeah, everybody needs somebody to love. Very good. Next, I just got this yesterday in the mail. It's from A Chick That Knits. It's Lauren. Hand-dyed yarn. This is it's called Electric Love. And it is a 75% merino wool, 25% nylon superwash, 450 yards. Single. And a couple days ago, I got from Crochet 1 Knit 2. I got this yarn called Serious Black. You should go look at their website. It's etsy.com/Canada/shop/crochet1knit2. And I got the mini skein with it. I often don't, but I've started getting them more often because it's like, okay, sometimes I do want to do the contrasting heel and toe. But yeah, I had to buy this because Serious Black was my jam. I remember the first time I read the books. And in the third book, when Harry meets Sirius and starts developing that relationship, and I remember I was so like, Harry has a person, like he has an adult in his life that's not a teacher that he can count on, that can be his safety net, that, you know, and that was really powerful for me at the time. And so, spoilers, when he died, I like sobbed. Like I cried through the rest of that book. I was so devastated. I like could not get over it. And so when a colorway comes in called Serious Black and it looks just like him, I know it's based off of probably movie Sirius, but I remember hating all of like Sirius and Remus and all of those guys, like the interpretation of them in the movies, but they grew on me, so I'm totally fine with that. But yeah, have to have my Sirius yarn. Did I say what that was? It is a 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 425 yarns, Serious Black. Next is long dog yarn. In the it's luxe fingering, 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon, 387 yards. The colorway is July 2019, so it was the monthly colorway for July. And it just struck me as like a nice beachy. It's got like speckles of purple and orange, and it's, yeah, I just like the complexity of the colors. And I'm really into this like teal mermaidy yarn right now. I've got speckles of green and yellow. Yeah, it's really good. Long dog yarn. Ooh. Ooh, you guys. You guys. Okay. So, I don't know how to pronounce it out loud. I want to say Kalina Knits. Her name is Julia on Instagram. But on Instagram, she's Kalina Knits. She just released her first pattern. And it's called the Duyan Shawl. again, I don't know if that's 100% how you pronounce it, but I'll put it down there so you can see what it is. But she just released it, and I'm so excited for her. It's her first pattern, and Dear Dreams collaborated with her on the yarns for the shawl. So this is the yarn for the shawl, and this is called Jennlynn, and this is called Lumpia. And ooh, I don't have my iPad. There's a story behind it, and there's a story behind each of these colors and the shawl itself, and it was really good. And so I love yarns with a backstory, just like I love yarns with a name that I love. And so I had to have this. This is definitely a tonal purple. It's got little blue speckles and different shades. So that's more of a mauve. And these yarns are 75% superwash merino, 15% nylon, 10% cashmere, 452 yards. They're the same. And this is like a really nice, yeah, this is true color, I believe. It's showing up really well on camera. So, and then it also came with a cute little paper star and little stitch markers. That's adorable. You can find them on Etsy as Dear Dreams. Yeah, the Duyan Shawl, I wanted to get in for the test knit, and I got to it too late. But she has me slated in for the test knit in the fall, so I'm going to definitely be able to do that. So I really want to start this, but I cannot start a shawl yet. I can't. Gotta do a sweater. Gotta do the sweater. But you should definitely check out Kalina Knits on Instagram. And then got some Lolo Did It yarn in Purple Rain. I finally found a Purple Rain that I liked. I live in Minnesota. Prince is a big deal here. Prince was a local. And so yeah, I finally found one that I really liked, that I felt like was more representative of Prince. This is an 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon, 430 yards fingering. Very nice shades of purple and gray, like a rainy day. Can you tell that I love fingering yarn? So, the other week, StevenBe was having a clearance sale. I assume it's because they were getting in new stock. So, we went, and I actually was going to pick up a yarn that I had already bought for the sale, and they had a bunch of their sale yarns out. And so I ended up, of course, buying some. You guys, this is Interlacements Presents Rick Rack. It was hand-dyed by Tracy Shu. It's 1,200 yards. It's called The Berries, is the type of yarn. And it is... I want to say it's rayon. Where does it say? I can't find where it said, but 1,200 yards, you guys, and it was so cheap. And look at how beautiful this yarn is. I am making a mess of it because this is how it was laid out. Maybe I should. It's because it's so thick. Look at this. I don't know what to make with something like this, but definitely I'm not gonna pass up for, I cannot remember. This is only is relative, but $42 for 1,200 yards, and it was on sale. I really want to say it was either 50% off or even more than that. It was no more than $21 for 1,200 yards. So that is hype, you guys. Other things I got from the sale. I was almost mad about this. You see this here? These little guys that I got from Canon Hand Dyes, I got them to knit a pair of gloves, and I never knit them. I will. I have the yarn for the gloves. I just haven't. And these beautiful rainbow colors. These are 18 to 20 yards each, and it's all these colors. Like, look at all these shades. There's so many of them. I got that a while ago. That was when I first started buying indie yarns. So Canon Hand Dyes had these ones, and this is 24 yards each, and just the regular rainbow colors. But I could not buy this for. It was at least, this retails for $30. It was at least 50% off. I can't remember how much it ended up being, but it was really cheap and I could not pass it up. And then versus Spincycle. This yarn is what I bought for the sale that I went and picked up in store. And it's just a little skein, little 200 yards, suit and tie. It's Spincycle. It is a DK yarn. So I just really liked this, like, really like nice tuxedo kind of yarn. I feel like I could knit it up with maybe a cream or something, or even a bright color. Honestly, I don't know. I don't want to do with it, but it's 200 yards, so it's like what, half of a small shawl. And then I bought some fours, long fours. I don't think they were on sale, but I think that I don't like. I wonder if this isn't a 4. I feel like I don't like whatever this needle is. I think it is a 4. Like it's just too bunchy. I don't know, something with the join I don't like. And so I just bought another needle. And on the table, 50% off for only $5, I got this boy. My little sheep lammy boy. Something, I don't know, it has a poofy tail, like a bunny, I don't know. But drop something. It's called Celebrate Together. It doesn't say what he's called. I don't know. Cute. Oh, a Zany Crafts tag? I wonder why that was in there. Yeah, okay. Okay, you guys, I think that's all. I think that's actually caught up on all of the yarns that I've gotten. Part of it is I did just keep forgetting to like talk to you about yarns that I got. And I know I went through that pretty fast, but it was a lot of yarn. So yeah, that's about it. I do have a vlog that I haven't uploaded yet, or maybe hopefully I'll upload maybe before this podcast goes live. So that you can just, there's just a little sock week thing that I did while I was waiting for a concert to start. So life stuff. I went to a Gin Blossoms concert on Wednesday with my mom. It was really good. I mean, Gin Blossoms is a band from like what, the late 80s, early to mid 90s. I really like them. I like 90s alternative, and they're really good live. I know that Gin Blossoms does like to play in Minnesota, but Minnesotans are asses. Like, they just don't get, like, I don't know. They just, like, do not get into the music the way that I want them to, like, the older white crowd. I'm not older, but the average age of person who goes to see Gin Blossoms is a little older. But they're really good and, like, really personable. And they played the whole album of New Miserable Experience from top to bottom, which includes, like, Hey Jealousy and Found Out About You, and probably a lot of songs you'd never heard of. And then they also played like their most popular singles songs, and yeah, so it was really good. It was a good concert. I actually still have the thing on. Varsity is where they played, and that was fun. And work has been picking up. I'm actually like busy now. What? Yeah, so I do have enough to do, and it is weird, but also good. It's been really good. I'm still really liking my job. I am grappling still with missing the kids, you know. I do like middle school age children, and so I still haven't figured out how I can still be involved in a capacity that could be helpful that isn't teaching. This weekend is my brother's birthday, so we're gonna do a little get together for that. And yeah, got some plans of going to Madison and all that kind of stuff coming up. Got some plans for, okay, so I go through these like spurts where I go to yoga every single day for months, and then I drop off the face of the planet when it comes to yoga. And especially since starting this new job, I have stopped exercising. I have been eating terribly. I've gained several pounds. A trigger warning, I suppose, trigger warning for like if talking about weight stuff triggers you. I'm not a diet person or anything like that. I don't believe in diets, but I do believe in not eating out for every meal every day. I am vegetarian, and so I guess if that counts as a diet. But I am a person who loves food and loves good food, and so I really need to get back on that, like making good food and stuff that I can bring to work and stuff that isn't going to be super time intensive, just because I want to be knitting. My time is a hot commodity, you know. So I gotta figure that out. And also play ITG again. I miss ITG. I haven't played in a while. So I'll let you know what I do on that. I love a lot of food. So I should be able to find things to eat. And I'm not the kind of person who could do like, let's pretend I ate meat. I can't do like a chicken and brown rice. Like I have to have it be interesting and flavorful. And I can make amazing, interesting, flavorful vegetarian meals. I just need to be able to find a meal that I can split up between me and Steve, where it's not just like 2.5 meals. It needs to be a variety. What else? So that's the biggest thing, and just like getting into doing some sort of exercise again. I did recently learn that it's really, really cheap to use the on-campus facilities, and so like Steve and I talked about maybe like if we got gym memberships there, it's not even a membership, it just comes out of our paycheck, that we could maybe like exercise over our lunch hour, like eat a quick lunch, exercise and then eat lunch. And I think that would be really good, especially in the winter when it's gonna really suck to travel. Like the gym facilities are right on campus, not far from us there, and I think that would be really good. And I do like strength training a lot. I am not really a cardio person other than ITG, but I don't play ITG for cardio. I play ITG because I enjoy it, and like any sort of health benefits is just a bonus. I do believe that everyone should do yoga. I mean, I just do. It's so good for your body, and it's good for your body. It can be really good for your mind. If you think yoga is just light stretching, then you have never done yoga. Yoga's hard. It's really hard. And I'm not talking about core power yoga. I'm talking about like true yoga where you're holding poses. Like, have you ever tried to hold any pose for any length of time in life? Even standing still is hard. So like, yeah, when you picture like downward facing dog or warrior 1 or warrior 2, like it's hard, and it's really good for your body. So I really want to get back into that. And also my yoga membership is really expensive, and when I don't go, I'm just throwing money away. So I really should get back into that. I will. You see me telling you. Tell me to go. Yeah, so, yeah, in terms of like my body stuff, it's more like my clothes just are not fitting, and I don't want to buy new clothes. I have started trying to look into more sustainable clothing options. I don't know how to sew at all, so I cannot make my own clothes, and I like really do not feel like I am at a place where I can learn like a whole new skill. But I really like the idea of it, and so I've been looking into more like people who make clothes and sell them on Etsy. I have been looking into that and starting to try like curate outfits and stuff like that that will be sustainable for a long time, and clothes that will fit even if I gain or lose a few pounds, because that's my huge problem like with jeans, for example, and I'm sure this is everyone's problem with jeans. If you gain a few pounds, they become way too tight, but if you lose a few pounds, they become way too loose. And so I'm trying to find outfits that are not as sensitive to weight fluctuations, because like my weight fluctuations are not huge, so they're just enough. So yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, I really want to start the Just Float sweater by Stephanie Lotvin. I have, again, a few tanks and stuff that I want to start. I am working on my gloves for my cousin Morgan, but I started using yarn that was in my stash, like it was in this section, and I think I'm gonna run out, and that's so frustrating because I'm like maybe halfway done with the second glove. So I've kind of put that down. Like, I don't want to like face it. I don't want to like see if I really am gonna run out of yarn, because I know that it's a Barocco yarn, but I don't know what color it is. I assume I can find it at my local yarn shop. My local yarn shop, local yarn store, Knitting from the Heart. Which reminds me, I don't have. Where are all my yarns from Peep Shawl Day? I'll have to talk about those next time. That's so strange. I wonder where they are. I have a bunch of them. Yeah, I'll talk about Peep next time because this is getting long again. So I think that's all. No one let me know whatever question. I don't even remember what questions I asked last time, but I did ask questions and no one responded to them. So that's okay. I'm just trying to be a little bit more interactive if you want. Please subscribe to my video or subscribe to my channel, leave comments. I like to hear from you, if what you enjoy, what you like hearing about, that kind of thing. Follow my Instagram. I am pretty active on there. And yeah, thanks for coming, thanks for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye.